Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
te deva bhavayantu vaha
te deva bhavayantu vaha
parasparam bhavayantaha
parasparam bhavayantaha
Shreyah paramavapsyatha
Shreyah paramavapsyatha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Taidattana pradayebhyaha
Taidattana pradayebhyaha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Yajna shishtashinah santaha
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Ye pachantyatmakaranat
Annad bhavanti bhutani
Annad bhavanti bhutani
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha
Yajñād bhavati parjanyaha
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we started getting into this principle of Parasparam. Parasparam means mutual. That is, when there is a benefit, you also get that benefit and the other person also gets that benefit. That is the meaning of Parasparam. I enjoy everything, good things happen to me, and everybody enjoys. Good things happen to everyone. That is, you wish that. It is all inclusive. That is the meaning of Parasparam. Now, this is a very powerful principle. And it is not something new. It is not something which he is creating, that is something which you have never experienced and he is asking you to practice. That is not like that. Your very life is based on this principle of Parasparam. Parasparam, Paraha, Paraha. Two words. That is, the same word Paraha is repeated again. 2 times they have mentioned that. And so when you join those, you get this phrase Parasparam. So if 2 people are, let us say, standing in front of each other, the first person says Para, that is the other person. He focuses on the other person. But then what about that person? He also says Paraha, which means the focus comes back to this person. So he gives something and that person takes, and that person gives something and he takes. So the very structure of this word Parasparam gives us a very deep insight. That is, the entire nature, or we can say the whole universe, functions according to the principle of Parasparam. That is interdependence. See, when we talk of independence, that is from a spiritual point of view, that is something totally different. We are talking of the consciousness rising to the infinite level, and then you become independent of the external factors for your happiness. But there also there is an interdependence. That is, you become dependent on the infinite for your happiness. So it is independence with respect to the world, but interdependence internally. Because when we focus on interdependence, this question will definitely come into your mind, because elsewhere we'll say be independent of external things for your happiness. That's how a yogi functions. We keep repeating that, so you will get confused. If you were to look at life, if you were to look at every aspect of this world, you will find that any object can exist only when there is an interdependence. Even if you take nature, they talk of the ecological balance, the cycle and all that, ecological cycle. You will see that it is nothing but interdependence at the physical level. It starts with microorganisms and goes up to human being. Again, it comes back to square one. That cycle keeps on going. And I did give you a couple of examples, like if you take breathing, now you take in air and you give out air. Technically, oxygen, carbon dioxide, those things are there. But even if you don't look at it technically, basically you're taking and you're giving. Simple. If there is intake of food, there is the process of excretion. It has to be there, otherwise the maintenance cannot happen. That is what I was explaining to you in the last session, the three powers, the power of creation, the power of destruction, and the power of maintenance. Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu. And the yogis gave out the statement that these three gods, they are called the Trinities actually. The Trinity means three gods, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. It is said in the Puranas that the Trinity rules the world. These three gods, they rule the world. Now, what is the true meaning of that? What is the yogic meaning of that? That is what we are seeing. So, in every aspect of this world, whether it is external world or your internal world means, the physical body here, and then further if you go within also, you will find that this principle of interdependence is always there. So there is that creation process, there is the destruction process. Two opposite forces act. And in that process, that object is always maintained. Even a simple thing like we are balancing our physical body when we are walking, when we are sitting. If you go further and probe, you will find that two opposite forces are there and they create a balance. And that is how we are able to balance our physical body. Now, when we fail to recognize this interdependence, that is when the ego starts manifesting. The moment the ego starts increasing within a person, now he or she will start separating himself or herself from the totality. When you understand and absorb this principle of interdependence, you become a part of the totality. there is no resistance, there is no friction created. But the moment there is ego, then you try to separate yourself from the totality. And the moment anyone tries to separate himself or herself from the totality, now there is a disturbance which is created. Because this universe is a beautiful system. Just imagine, the sun is there, the planets are all revolving around the sun. We call the path as the orbits. Everything is so well organized. It's a beautiful system, self-contained system of interdependence. Now, supposing one particular object, let's say one planet, tries to separate itself, now the whole system will get imbalanced. The first imbalance will happen to the immediate system, and then that will start affecting the planet only. Let's say the earth decides to move a little away from the sun, or the earth decides to go a little closer towards the sun. Now the ultimate loss will be earth's only. There will be no vegetation, there will be no life. It will create a lot of problems. So whenever we try to separate ourselves from the totality, what happens is, who suffers? Ultimately, it is the individual who suffers. That is how the ego, destroys an individual. See, when we talk of tamasic people, now what is he saying? One who enjoys what is given by them without offering anything in return is indeed a thief. Which means one whose accent is only on taking. He only wants to take. Now, how a tamasic person will think is that, I want all the benefit, I want maximum benefit. So let me go on taking. That is a very limited understanding of life. So when you go on taking without any thought of giving in return, what you're doing is you're separating yourself from the system. You want to take all the benefits of the system for yourself. That word stenaha is such a powerful word which he uses. So any system consists of individual members, individual parts. Now if one part wants to take all the benefits without sharing, now thinking that I will get all the benefit, now what will happen? It will disrupt the system. It will also cause a lot of harm to that individual part. Even if you take the physical body, when you eat food, the nutrition has to be distributed properly to all the parts of the body. Supposing, let us say one part, let's say the right hand says, I want to take everything, and it takes away all the nutrition, just for argument's sake. And it goes on becoming very strong. That is what it thinks. But is that what is happening? Your entire system will weaken. And who will get affected because of that finally? It is the right hand only. This is something which you need to understand. If you want to benefit from any aspect of this life, you need to understand this principle of parasparam, interdependence, and you need to be a part of the system, not try to pull yourself away from the system. If you take a family unit, the husband does his duties, the wife does her duties, children do their duties, the grandparents, they do their duty. Everyone, contributes, and they also take. Now, such a family will be very happy. See, when I am talking of giving, I am not talking of merely finance. Now, giving may be in terms of money, giving may be in terms of physical actions, giving may be in terms of emotions. See, an elderly person, when he or she is there at home, they don't even need to do something. Just if they are very detached and if they radiate that peace and happiness, that gives a great feeling to all the others. Because it is like a source of strength, But supposing in a family unit, if one person becomes egoistic and wants to separate himself, he feels that no, I am great, everybody else has to serve me. And he stops contributing. Now what will happen? That will immediately create a ripple in that system. And ultimately, who will be stressed? It is that individual. It will come to him. A tamasic person, even though he may look as if he is not agitated, as if he is not caring and all that, it is all there under the carpet. It is not yet manifested. At some point of time, the whole thing will explode, and at that time, he will not be able to take it. I have seen this happening in many families where I've seen the husband gets addicted to something like, let's say, alcohol or drugs. Now, what happens is slowly, he loses the capacity to contribute, to do duty, to do whatever his duties are. And then he starts taking. Now, ultimately, that immediately creates a very negative energy in the family unit. But ultimately, who suffers? It is him. Maximum suffering he brings upon himself. I have seen many alcoholics, that is those who are addicted to alcohol, end up committing suicide. Or they spoil their health so much. They suffer a lot. All these things happen because of that ego. The ego actually manifests in three ways: tamas, rajas and sattva. Now you may wonder, sir, is sattva also ego? Yes. Tamas is the grossest form of ego. When the ego is at the maximum level, then that is tamas. Rajas is mediocre ego. We will be seeing that in the next verse. And then sattva is refined ego. The ego has been refined. It is still there, but it has not gathered that kind of a momentum where it can harm a person. Actually, we use the same force to further move up. That is sattva. So sattva is actually refinement. Sattva is not the ultimate state of enlightenment. Enlightenment is going beyond these three gunas: tamas, rajas and sattva. That is why a person who has got enlightened is called gunatita. Guna atita means one who has gone beyond the three gunas. So from tamas to sattva, it is a journey of refining oneself, of purifying oneself. Actually, some yogis, they call it as malevolent ego and benevolent ego. Malevolent ego means that ego which is harmful. Benevolent ego means that ego which is beneficial. Actually, there's a contradiction there. Ego can never be beneficial, but we refine it to such an extent and use it to do the higher sadhana so that you go beyond ego. Therefore, they called it as benevolent ego. Otherwise, per se, the nature of ego is to separate yourself from the totality. How do you define totality? It is a system, whether it's a family unit or whether it's a society or whether it's the whole universe. It does not matter. In any system, if a person starts thinking only about himself or herself, now that person is going to create trouble. Trouble for oneself and trouble for the system. That is the tamasic quality. One who wants to take only. See, that word only is very important. If you want to take something, doesn't mean you're tamasic. Because as I told you, tamas and sattva will look so much alike externally, so you may get confused. And unnecessarily, you may hesitate to take whatever is due to you. That is not sattva. Whatever is due to you, you need to take. Actually, that's what Krishna is teaching Arjuna. The Kauravas actually took away their wealth, what belongs to them. Krishna says it's your right. You have to fight for your rights and get back whatever is due to you. No need to think about what belongs to others. But claiming your rights is not selfishness, it's not tamasic. So even in a relationship, let's say a husband and wife, now if one person becomes egoistic and that person becomes very harsh to the other partner, now then he or she is getting into the quality of tamas. That will cause friction. It will hurt the other person and you will also be agitated. So if that happens over a period of time and they don't try to solve that issue, it will end up in separation. A breakup has to happen. Or even if a breakup doesn't happen, both of them will have to go through a lot of suffering. So that is why it is very important as a sadhak, you will have to establish this principle of parasparam in every aspect of your life. Bring about a balance between whatever you're receiving and whatever you're taking. When we go to rajas and then when we go to the sattvic attitude, you will be learning how to master this sadhana of parasparam, the principle of parasparam. But first you need to get an overall view of the whole thing. So if you are facing any issue in any area of life, now as I told you, it could be family, it could be a relationship, it could be career, wherever it is. Now immediately you look at that situation from this principle, that is of parasparam. You will find that the system would have got disturbed. So you need to think in terms of how do I re-establish that harmony, that rhythm in that system. What should I do in order to bring back that rhythm? Supposing, let us say, you're having a problem with your partner. Now you need to find out how has the system got disturbed. Supposing you find that your partner is very rude to you. All the time he or she is talking in a very rude way and that is hurting you. Then the system has got disturbed. Now you need to set right that system. How? By speaking up for yourself. By just simply suffering and then suddenly one day exploding and showing all your anger, those things will not solve the system, solve the disturbance. Speaking up for oneself doesn't mean going and fighting. Speaking up for oneself simply means expressing yourself and establishing your rights in a dharmic way. That's all. You will have to do that. Supposing there is a problem between you and your partner and you find that you are the person who is very rude, then you should not hesitate to again set the system right. You should get rid of this ego, you should do the sadhana, release all the unnecessary superiority complex which you have built within yourself, and if required, you should apologize, set the system right, and you will find again the relationship becomes wonderful. So, whether you are at the end of giving or taking, you will have to create that balance. Whether the mistake is the other person's or whether the mistake is yours, what steps are you taking to solve that? Many people, I find that they are in one of these two extremes. I am taking the example of a relationship because when we take a practical example, it becomes easy for you. You will be able to understand the principle through the application. So the husband is there, wife is there. Let's say the husband is very rude and the wife is very meek. Then there will be friction. The wife will suffer and the husband also will suffer ultimately, because one day she is going to explode. Same thing reverse. I've seen sometimes a wife is very rude, husband is very meek. Again there will be disturbance. So when you are at the receiving end, what should you do? As I told you, you need to set it right by learning to express yourself in a dharmic way. You have the right. You have to claim your rights. You can't expect somebody else to come and claim it for you. That itself is a tamasic approach. Sometimes what happens is, in a relationship, people have very unrealistic expectations. They don't want to express themselves at all as to what they want. But they just, they think the other person has to, by himself or herself, understand fully what I want and they should provide. Now, tell me, is that practical? See, ultimately, you are living your life. So be very clear. Don't have unrealistic expectations in any relationship. Unrealistic expectations will lead to disappointment, sorrow, and suffering. So when another person is rude to you and you are just silently suffering, and then you come and say, "Oh, that person is so rude to me, what should I do?" Now you will continue to suffer only because you are not doing anything. What steps have you taken to set the system right? Probably when you try for the first time, you don't expect immediate results. That's what I told you. Don't have unrealistic expectations. But consistently, if you put your effort to claim your rights, when I say claim your rights means, what I mean is respect, I respect you, you respect me, that mutual respect. When you keep on establishing, then the other person has to listen. If the other person is still unwilling, that relationship cannot work. Similarly, if you're creating the disturbance in the system, you need to correct yourself. You should have that courage. You should have that frankness. Yes, I made a mistake here. Let me correct it. So I've given you an example of a relationship. We took the case of a husband and a wife and a relationship. Now you should now use this principle in all the other areas of your life. If you're working, again, it has to be parasparam. You put in all your efforts and you get the rewards. There is a giving, there is a taking. If there is an imbalance, find out, are you doing your things properly? Not according to your rules, according to the rules of the management. See, sometimes the management will set goals. Now, I find that individual employees, they function in their own way. And then they say, I have worked very hard, you are not recognizing that. The management says no. So you will have to see the context, whether you are fulfilling whatever you have to fulfill in a proper way. If not, then correct yourself. If you are doing all that and still you are not getting the rewards, then claim your rights. That is what I mean by speaking up for oneself. Speaking up for oneself doesn't mean now fighting necessarily. That's another extreme which people go into. See, usually what happens is either you are very dominant or you are very submissive. You keep going into these two extremes. A very submissive person suddenly one day will explode out of anger. All these things will only create more disturbance in the system. So right from beginning itself, when a problem surfaces, you can easily use this principle of parasparam and set the system right. Even if you take your own health, there is a beautiful system which is going on. Now, if you have a lifestyle which is disrupting that system, then it will start creating health issues. So when some health issue surfaces, at that time itself, you will have to find out and correct yourself. So that the parasparam is established. You have a relationship with your body, and when that relationship is perfect, you will be healthy. Like one person told me that he has developed all kinds of issues like skin problems, acidity, so many things, blood pressure, this, that and all. And then when I asked him about his lifestyle was he eats late in the night, very late. He doesn't sleep properly. He doesn't exercise properly. So that is what he is giving. See, what he is giving to the body is not proper. There is an imbalance. So what he is getting back from the body will also not be proper because of that imbalance. So unless and until he sets that system right from his end, he cannot expect that balance to be restored. Any amount of tablets, all that he may have, but that will not restore the balance from within. See, ultimately, your body has to cure itself from within. So, this principle of parasparam is so deep. As we go along, I'll be giving you different facets of that through these verses. That is, we'll see tamas, rajas, sattva. From various angles, we'll be studying that. First, you understand it in a general way, and then we'll be getting into further specifics. But what is very important is for you to absorb this principle and then you use it effectively. Wherever there is a disturbance, whether it is your physical body, even emotional health also, find out how the system has got disturbed and then set it right. Whether it's career or health or emotion. See, the beauty of these principles is that every principle has the potential to solve all your issues if you go deep into that principle and start practicing it. So whenever we are using the yogic approach and penetrating and absorbing a principle, I am also side by side giving you the practical applications of that principle in your life. So even if you master just one principle, now you will evolve spiritually at a very fast pace. That is the beauty of this. So, parasparam means two opposite forces, give and take, creation, destruction. You can see these two opposite forces acting together all the time. And that is the very law of karma. There is an action and then there will be a consequence, a reaction. So when we generate positive energy, there will be a consequence for that. When we generate negative energy, there will be a consequence for that. That is how the system gets established. They say, no, as you sow, so will you reap. It is nothing but another way of looking at the law of karma. So the law of karma has been expounded by these great masters in a very simple way. That is through the principle of parasparam. So what are we trying to do here by studying the tamasic approach, rajasic approach and sattvic approach and all that? We are trying to consciously master this principle of parasparam. And when you succeed in that, then you will become a master of your karmas. You will master that law. You will know exactly how to use it for your benefit, to progress in life, whether it is material progress or whether it is spiritual progress. Okay? So, we were seeing last week about this stena. He uses a very strong word. One who wants to all the time take, he says, is a stena, thief, robber. So I gave you 3 points from that. That is, whom would we call a thief? A thief has these 3 prominent qualities. That is, he wants to take something which belongs to another person. See, if you want money, if you work for it and earn your money, no, you're not called a thief. But without doing all that, if you want to take away the money from another person, then you become a thief. So the basic thing is, whenever you want something which belongs to others, then that is the quality of stena. So all these qualities, from an extreme point of view, you may not be having. But in a very miniature scale, some of these points may be manifest in you. So you will have to do your sadhana and recognize that within you. For example, whenever you compare yourself with others and you feel jealous, let us say another person is having a car and you say, oh, he's having a car. Huh? You're not having that attitude of wishing that person or blessing that person. Rather, you're feeling jealous. Now you go deep into that quality of jealousy. What is jealousy? That person is having something which I am not having. So in effect, you're wanting something which belongs to the other person. That is the root cause of stena. It is at such a miniature scale that we don't use the word thief and all that at that time. But here, Krishna has taken that extreme case and he has used a very strong word called stena. So you should be careful. No need to, get bogged down. You should not become emotionally disturbed when you try to use this principle, whatever he is giving, and when you are doing some self-analysis. No, you should not be too harsh on yourself. Just because you are jealous, immediately, am I a thief? Some people get into that kind of, self-criticism. So remember, all this analysis is being done not with a spirit of criticism in mind, but it is only for purification. Even when a guru points out a mistake which a student commits. A true guru will correct. Otherwise, why do you need to go to a guru? Just to get some pat, and if the guru keeps on praising you, then remember he is not a true guru. All the time, let's say the guru is only praising you, then something is wrong, Then there is no relationship. A guru's duty is to keep correcting the student. The guru has to chisel the student, provided the student surrenders, so that he gets uplifted. So when the guru is pointing out, see, what you're doing is wrong here, what you're doing is wrong there. Now it is not with the idea of criticizing. It is with the idea of increasing your clarity so that you can purify yourself. There is a very big difference between these two approaches. I want you to absorb this straight away. Otherwise, because we are going to go into the depth of what this Tenaha is, what is this tamasic attitude. If you are not careful, you will end up criticizing yourself and you will end up losing all your self-confidence. Because when you start seeing the negative factors within you, you have to maintain objectivity. Otherwise, you will lose your self-confidence. You will become self-critical. Then you will either run away, you will not be able to face this beyond a point, so you will stop all sadhana lectures and all that, or you will become very depressed. So you should not get into that spirit. The idea of going deep into these things is only for self-purification. It is solution-oriented. It is not for criticism. A true master will never ever criticize, but he will correct. Sometimes he may be harsh also. All that is aimed towards purification. So same attitude only you should have towards yourself also. Supposing you find a negative quality within you, now don't criticize yourself. Don't brand yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't lose your confidence. Instead, you should feel very happy. Oh, till yesterday I didn't know that this was there. This dirt is there within me. So let me wipe it off. Let me do sadhana and cleanse myself so that I'll become pure. That is a very positive attitude. That is what is the attitude of a true sadhak. So if you want to be a true sadhak, you should bring in the spirit of self-purification. Right at the outset, I am mentioning it. Last week also I mentioned it. So I am mentioning it several times so that there is no slip in that area. Because it will become very difficult if you unnecessarily build a guilt over your own negativities and then you start struggling. Now then that has to be released. Right at the outset, set your goals, very clearly. We are launching into this study program. Study means not studying merely the Bhagavad Gita, but a study of oneself, Swadhyaya. We are using the Bhagavad Gita to study ourselves and so that our life becomes better. So we are launching into on this program only for self-purification, not for self-criticism. You go to a guru so that you gain more clarity, so that he gives you more clarity. He gives you more inputs for you to correct yourself and purify yourself. So when you have this clarity, there will be no issues. So the first quality of a robber is that he wants what belongs to others. So there will be different grades. Sometimes it may be very obvious. Whenever you feel jealous about someone, it is the same quality which is manifesting at a small level. So there itself you should start correcting. So every time you notice that somebody is having something which you are not having, immediately that jealousy will come. you should substitute that energy. I'm also giving you the sadhana side by side. How will you substitute the energy? I bless that person, whoever it is. I'm so happy that that person is happy. First, when you say that, the bhavana may not be there fully. But through practice, you will learn this art of converting your energy pattern. Whenever you find something positive in another person, you should have the heart of blessing that person. That is wishing for the welfare of the person and feeling so happy that that person is having it, instead of feeling unhappy that I am not having it. When you start practicing this, all the tamas in you, in this area, with respect to this area, will slowly get washed away, and you will get purified, in a very deep way. So a yogi is one who has mastered this. Whenever he sees people, enjoying, whenever he sees people happy, now he feels so happy as if it is his happiness. So a yogi is always happy. His happiness is not dependent on whether he is having something or not having and all that. When he sees a positive quality in someone, he is so happy. That is what gives you that security, internal security. Whenever you are jealous, you will not feel secure from within. Some time back, one lady, she asked me a question. That is, she had put on some weight, and so she was saying, "Sir, I want to slim down, but however much I try, I'm not slimming down." So I could see that this energy of comparison was running within her. So generally, we don't take the direct approach unless it's required. So I just asked her to reflect a little bit. When you feel your own body, what is the emotion behind it? She said, "I don't feel good at all, I feel very bad." Then slowly I asked her, what about when you look at your friends or when you look at others, whenever you see someone who is slim, now how do you feel? She said, "I feel very bad, I feel very low." So I told her, first change that energy. Whenever you see someone who is slim, feel so happy for that person. Now, she was actually shocked to hear that. She said, "Oh, I didn't realize that these factors were going on in my mind." Yes, every time you're comparing yourself with someone else and you're feeling further low about yourself, then how can you get out of this issue? At least first change that energy pattern. Many things I told her, and she did that. What happened is, even though this problem was there, according to her, she said, "I want to slim down, I am not at slim down." Still, she started feeling so happy for others. Thereafter, this was not a big issue for her. That is the first step. Then I told her, you should follow the principles which have been laid down in Kaya Tattva. Kaya Tattva empowerment program that is available online. No? So she had already done that. So I told her, you should start following those principles. When it comes to eating, that rule, many rules of how to eat, what to eat, how to drink water, then in terms of exercises, all those, balancing those 5 elements. So wherever you're lacking, now start practicing that. And don't get so overworked. Oh, I'm not reducing. Do it objectively, casually. She practiced that. And amazingly, within 3 months, she, reduced and she got to, she became slim to the extent she wanted to be. She was able to easily fulfill her goal the moment she removed all these negative factors. I'm only telling you how powerful these sadhanas are, even in fulfilling some relative goals of yours. So this is more so applicable at a spiritual level. As a sadhak, as you grow spiritually, when you look at others who may have some spiritual quality which you don't have, immediately the mind tends to compare and become jealous. You'll have to curb that. Convert that into positive energy. So this is the first thing. The second thing is, who is a robber? A robber is one who always looks for shortcuts. He doesn't want to put in effort and get something. Instead of that, he simply wants to steal away the result of the efforts put by another person. See, when a robber wants to steal an object from another person, what he should realize is that person has put in a lot of effort to get that. So he simply wants to take it away from him. Which means he does not want to put effort to get something. That is why we are saying it is tamasic. So a tamasic person is one who looks for shortcuts in life. Even when it comes to spirituality, some people ask, sir, is there a magic you can do so that within few minutes I should get enlightened? Sir, what can you do? Some people ask me. To which I ask them back, what are you prepared to do? First you tell me that. People want all the results, good things to happen to them. But when it comes to the cause, that is the various causes, the effort, that they don't want to do. You want spiritual development. Are you doing your sadhana properly? Every day are you doing your sadhana? Are you, attending this yogic approach every Sunday in a disciplined way? Are you absorbing and putting these principles into practice? Are you attending the empowerment programs and getting the higher energy, the transference, so that your level gets elevated? Nothing. Many people tell me that, sir, I'm so inconsistent. Once in a while I watch Sunday discourses. Then once in a while only you will get a little bit of spiritual development or healing. Whatever you get in life is in accordance to your karmas only, your actions, your efforts. That cannot be changed. So a tamasic person looks for shortcuts. So whenever you find your mind looking for shortcuts, shortcuts means without putting any effort, you want the results, then you need to convert that energy. A sattvic person is one who focuses on putting efforts. When we come there, we'll see. The results, he is confident the results will come. And he has the patience to wait. So when you are impatient, a tamasic person is highly impatient. A rajasic person is also impatient, but the difference is the rajasic person will put in efforts and then he wants the results immediately. At least he puts in efforts. That is why we say rajas is a superior state to tamas. A tamasic person doesn't want to put in any effort, but he wants all the results, that too immediately. That quality is a very dangerous quality, looking for shortcuts. So never look for shortcuts in life. See, even financially, if you want to become rich, go the right royal way. Don't fall for these quick rich schemes and all that. Now sometimes some people advertise how to become a multi-billionaire just by sleeping. Is there any meaning in this? See, they are using the weakness which is there inherently in everyone. That is tamas, not wanting to put any effort but wanting to get all the results. You have to be careful. So whether it is material progress or spiritual progress, never look for shortcuts. You get whatever you deserve in life, not what you merely desire. Just because you desire something doesn't mean you will get it. You will have to deserve. A person who does tapas, who does sadhana, will get the spiritual benefits. So that is the second thing. See, last week I just mentioned these three qualities. I am going into a little more depth from a sadhana point of view. And then the third thing which a thief has is that fundamentally he is adharmic, unrighteous. When we go to the 18th chapter, he'll be taking tamas, rajas and sattva and explaining about actor, action, happiness, various facets. He'll be classifying all these into tamas, rajas and sattva. So we will be seeing that in detail, but we don't need to wait till then. Whenever the context comes, those aspects I'm giving now itself. One of the things is, I'm also in comparison giving you what is rajas, and of course we are going to see sattva also. See, a rajasic person, he will start off in a righteous way, but when he faces challenges, that time he will resort to unrighteous methods. This is a rajasic actor, rajasic person. A tamasic person, he will start off in an adharmic way, unrighteous way only. Because that is what is looking for shortcuts. Whenever you want to look for shortcuts, you will go to any extent to fulfill that. So unrighteous methods will be seen by his mind as a method by which he can get quick results. So a tamasic person is immersed in adharma, an unrighteous way of life. See, when you commit a mistake, the first time you can hear your own conscience telling you it is wrong. But as you get immersed in that mistake, after a while, you will not be able to hear the voice of your own conscience. It's not that the conscience is not telling you, but you become deaf internally. So a tamasic person is so immersed in adharma that he doesn't even know that it is adharma after a while. He will start justifying whatever he is doing. See, with respect to health, if you don't have a proper lifestyle, that is adharma only. I am giving you a very broad definition of adharma. Adharma is generally, you will take it as when I harm someone, right? Now, let us say you are not eating the right type of food, you are not sleeping properly, you are eating very late in the night, you are being adharmic to your own body. That is an unrighteous approach with respect to your body. You are harming your body. In that process, you are harming yourself only, because you are only using this body, no? You are identified with the body fully, no? So, when this word adharma is used, you will have to see it from a very broad sense. Whether it is health or whether it is finance, whether it is relationships, a tamasic person will look for shortcuts, will always function in an adharmic way. He will eat those things which will harm the body in the long run. He will develop such habits like not sleeping properly, not eating properly, not doing exercises, all these things, lazing around, all these things which will harm the body. But it will give him an immediate pleasure. That is why he goes in that direction. Adharma gives you an immediate pleasure, but it harms you in the long run. Whereas dharma, it may be difficult to follow in the beginning. Being righteous. Being righteous means doing the right things, But in the long run, it will be so beneficial. It will give you so much of happiness. For example, if you take the physical body, initially to break that laziness and do your yoga, do your kriyas, all those things will be difficult. But in the long run, it will give you so much of pleasure and happiness. Lazing around, it will give you immediate pleasure. But that is adharma with respect to the physical body. So, one thing is adharma, to look at righteous, unrighteous from a moral angle. But from a broader sense, when you do whatever is the right thing, that is dharma. When you do whatever is harmful, is wrong, that which is not beneficial for you, that is adharma. So there morality, moral things also will be included. So you have to understand it very deeply. So whenever you're having this tendency to move away from whatever is beneficial for you, then tamas has taken over. So that is stenaha. So we will further go into the depth of this, how all the tamas manifests. First, these three qualities. So you can check. See, when I'm saying you can check, it's very rude to say that check whether you're a robber. That is not the spirit of. See, stenaha is no doubt a thief or robber. That is the extreme case. But you should check whether these tamasic qualities are there within you. Because as I was mentioning in the beginning, sir, is Krishna saying I am a thief? Supposing you ask. That's not the spirit of this. Okay. So, number one, wanting what belongs to others. Number two, looking for shortcuts. And number three, going in the adharmic way. So, whenever you have a weakness, then there is always a potential to go into the adharmic way. A person who has a weakness for name and fame, let's say. Now, there is a potential, there is a chance that he may get tempted, he or she may get tempted and go in an adharmic way in order to get quick name or quick fame. So never look for shortcuts. Then, what are all the various other dimensions of stenaha? Stenaha literally means thief or robber only, but we are relating this aspect to the tamasic guna and deriving the various principles, because that is what will be useful for your sadhana. The next thing is a tamasic person has no gratitude in life. See, when you are constantly wanting to take, when you are never wanting to contribute, what does it mean? It means you don't have any gratitude. The opposite of that is a sattvic person has a lot of gratitude for every little thing which he or she takes. If you were to look at life, life is giving you so many things. Just the fact that you are alive, you are right now listening to this. See, life has given you that opportunity. Have you ever thanked nature for that? No. The mind is so preoccupied with what it does not have and wanting to take that it is never grateful. So whenever you lack gratitude for something which you have received, that is a tamasic quality. I am deliberately not using the word stenaha, thief and all that, so that we should mellow it down a little bit. Then it becomes easy for you to do sadhana with it. So one whose focus is only on taking, now that person will never have this gratitude. Gratitude means a mentality of saying thank you. Not merely saying thank you verbally. I'm talking of the mental feeling. So, in our scriptures, they say you should be grateful to God. You should be grateful to nature. You should be grateful to your parents. You should be grateful to your spouse. You should be grateful to your children. Because they have come into your life and they have given you a lot of happiness. You should be grateful to your friends. You should be grateful to your enemies also. Because your enemies make you tough. They give you an opportunity to grow spiritually and become further strong, no? Actually, if you use the yogic approach and go into the depth of gratitude, you will become so grateful to everyone and anything in life, because everything in life is nothing but a blessing in disguise. Sometimes it will directly help you, sometimes it will help you indirectly. Supposing a person criticizes you, if you take it as an opportunity to become strong, let me practice, I am a sadhak, I am doing sadhana. So that is where I have to show my mettle, no? So let me be unaffected by that, let me be strong. And then I will take the corrective action. That comes later. So if you take it in that sense, then that becomes a great blessing. Actually, if you start practicing gratitude, see, first you practice gratitude with all the things which you're directly receiving. Then you will graduate to the next level from a spiritual point of view, where even the negative, so-called negative things in life are actually helping you only. Helping to chisel your personality. See, a person who goes through a lot of difficulties in life and comes out of it with the right approach, that person will be very strong. When a person does not face any challenge in life, he is untested. How do we know whether that person is strong from within or not? So that is graduating to the next level. Actually, if you just take this one quality of gratitude and go right up to the end, you will reach the infinite. Because if you really think about it, infinite blessings are being showered upon us this moment, right at this moment. You forget about past, future and all that. Right now, the fact that you're breathing, that is what keeps you alive, no? It is infinite blessing. And when you're breathing, are you segregating consciously, let me take only oxygen and all that? No. There is a system within you, the lungs has a filter, it takes in oxygen. And then the blood carries that oxygen to all the cells. A complete system is there working for you. You will become so subtle and you will become so happy and satisfied in life. When you don't have gratitude, what satisfaction? You will only keep on complaining. So a tamasic person is one who only takes, means I want this, I want that, only I should have, which means he is in a mode of complaining. It is only a person who has a lot of complaints who will get into this frequency. So whenever you are complaining in life, now immediately you need to change that energy pattern. As I told you, as I am giving these various dimensions, we will also be covering the sadhana part, what you should do to solve it. See, this is going to be taken in a solution-oriented way, not in a problem-oriented way, not simply to criticize, you are tamasic, you don't have gratitude, you are jealous. See, already you have a lot of issues. Okay, then you decide Sunday morning, let us listen to Yogishri. Let us now unravel the secrets of Bhagavad Gita, and you sit you are a useless person. You are highly tamasic. No gratitude. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If that is the spirit, now you will get into more trouble. That is not our spirit. This is only to go deep within and fine-tune yourself, purify yourself, so that you become prepared for further higher grace, for further higher healing. So please take it in the right spirit. So find out, whenever you're complaining about something, now you're being problem oriented. Now convert that energy. First start becoming grateful about what you have. Supposing food is being given to you, that is not up to the mark according to you. Immediately the complaining mode will come. Now convert it. There are so many people who don't even have food, no? So God has given me this. Today this is what God has given me. Let me consume that and let me be happy with that. Now the moment you bring in that gratitude factor, what will happen is that energy will start giving you more and more in life. See, remember, the law is, in the universe, whatever it is that, whatever energy you give, now that comes back to you. Comes back to you a million times more, with million times more force. So when you're giving that energy of complaint, you will get more things to complain about in life. That is how nature is designed. When you're giving the energy of gratitude, now you will get more things for you to say thank you. So gratitude attracts more blessings in life, whereas complaints actually creates a lot of problems in your life, more misery. So a tamasic person actually creates more and more problems for himself or herself. This is a very powerful dimension which is being given. Now you need to put some effort and practice that. See, when we are talking of gratitude and complaint, let me make one thing very clear. You may ask, sir, does it mean that if I am genuinely not having something, let's say in a relationship again, the partner is being very rude to me. Now if I say, why are you being rude to me? Don't be rude to me. Am I complaining? See, these practical doubts will come when you're trying to apply this. That is not complaint. That is what? You should first get out of this agitated frame of mind, stress. And then if you are claiming your rights, that is not being getting into a state of complaining. Complaining means the habit of, putting a list of what all things you don't have, and you just keep getting worked up about it and not wanting to solve anything, not wanting to put in any effort. So if you think in one area there is something which is due to you and you're not getting it, now you locate it. First, you're functioning in the background of gratitude, with the base of gratitude. So you will be very strong. See, if at all you ask something in life, you should ask from a position of strength. And that position of strength comes only when you build a base of gratitude. From that position, when you ask, that is called Ichha Shakti. Then you will start creating. When you are not feeling grateful, you are feeling so, you're having the helpless, you're feeling that I don't have this, I don't have that complaining attitude. And then you're asking, why do we say it's tamasic? Because you're not wanting to solve anything. You don't want to put any effort. So you should differentiate between complaining and claiming your rights. Claiming your rights is not wrong at all. A sattvic person will claim his or her rights. What belongs to you? What is wrong in claiming it? As I told you, Krishna is asking Arjuna to claim his right. He says, you are a prince. You have all the right. And your wealth has been taken away by your opponents, the Kauravas. And they are refusing to give that. Krishna himself went as a peacemaker, no? And he told Duryodhana, you should give them what is due. I will not give them anything. I will not even give the space of a needle's head to them. I will not even give the space for them to bury themselves. This is what Duryodhana told. So then Krishna said, okay, we have tried all the methods. All righteous methods have been tried. Now waging a war is righteous only. We are not starting the war. They are the ones who are starting the war by taking it away from that. It's very, very clear the way Krishna has functioned. So when you're trying to practice this gratitude, don't unnecessarily, again, when we say don't complain, don't get into that spirit of not claiming your right. If you have a problem, you should try to solve it. If you're not getting something which is due in your life, now trying to solve it is not getting into a complaining mode. But do it in the background of gratitude. First, feel so grateful about all the wonderful things which you are receiving in life. That will calm your mind. That will fill your mind with so much of happiness. It will make you so strong. And once your mind is calm, when you claim your rights, when you desire for something, when you ask for something, that asking is from a position of strength. That is called Ichha Shakti. I have explained Ichha Shakti from a different standpoint. Now I am explaining it from another angle. See, all these angles will help you to understand these principles in a more deep way. Desiring from a position of strength is Ichha Shakti. Desiring from a position of weakness is Kama. And then when that Kama increases, it becomes Trishna, which is craving. Those are all states of weaknesses. A tamasic person is in a state of Trishna, very weak state. Such a person will not get anything in life. He will keep on complaining. No gratitude whatsoever. So from this moment onwards, start changing that energy pattern. As soon as you wake up, the first thing, what should you do? Even before you open your eyes, just sit quietly for a few minutes. And first get connected to that infinite. Say, I thank God Supreme for everything in life. Then you say, I thank my Guru. I thank all the holy masters. See, you're building a very powerful energy pattern. Very positive energy pattern. That's how you should start your day. I thank my parents. I thank my wife. I thank my husband. That is my spouse. I thank my children because they have come into my life to give me happiness. I thank everyone. Just a few minutes. It will take hardly a few minutes. And then you open your eyes. You will start your day with this powerful energy pattern of gratitude. And chances are you will continue in that fashion. Supposing as soon as you get up, you start off with a complaint. Some people do that, As soon as they get up, wow, they'll just, get so irritated and they'll, pound on the other person. See, sometimes what happens is, I know one person, he has to go for a meeting that is in the morning. So he keeps an alarm and he doesn't wake up. As soon as he gets up, he shouts at his wife, "Why didn't you wake me up?" Is there any meaning in this? How will that person be able to attract blessings into his life? So you take responsibility for your life and you build your happiness. Happiness is your birthright. We are trying to master the law of karma. These are the inputs which can give you happiness, which can bring more blessings into your life. See, I have taken the same gratitude complaint earlier also. I mentioned several times. But each time that is being mentioned, a subtle angle will be opened up. So don't now listen to this with your previous knowledge of gratitude. Listen to it in a fresh way, because some more subtler principles are being given related to yajna and parasparam and how the tamas can play about with you. Okay, so we'll stop here. You think about these powerful principles which have been given to you. Side by side, the sadhana of how to change the energy pattern is also being given. We'll go into more depth in the coming sessions. Now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. I am not this physical body. I am not the pranas. I am not these various emotions and thoughts. I am that infinite, supreme reality. From this moment onwards, I choose to master the principle of Parasparam in my life. I am extremely grateful for every little thing which I have received in my life. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So these sessions are so powerful from a sadhana point of view. The principles are also very powerful. And we are using the yogic approach to really go into the depth. So if you just absorb the whole thing in a natural way and start practicing, you will reap tremendous benefits. Okay. So there is one announcement that is about the upcoming Yoga Sankirtan meditation empowerment and self-healing program. It will be from the 24th of March to 29th of March. You can make a note. The details will be available in the website and they will also be sent to you. So 6 days, each day one Yoga Sankirtan material will be taken up and you'll be doing the meditation along with the master, and also the empowerment is going to be given to you. The highlight of this Yoga Sankirtan is that for the first time, the special empowerment is going to be given for Shri Hanumat Dhyana. The more empowerments you keep getting for these Yoga Sankirtan materials, the power for you to meditate and all that will keep on increasing. It is not that I've taken empowerment once, now that is over. It's not like that. Every empowerment is going to create more depth. It's going to add on to your personal sadhana and tapas. Okay, so you can go through the material, and if you have any doubts, questions, you can email me. The answers will be given during the Sunday sessions. And every Nididhyasana meditation session is also a preparation for this empowerment. So you should play your part. You should do your spiritual sadhana every day. Don't miss your daily sadhana. Then only you can be prepared to receive this higher energy flow. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.